In a quiet suburb of Chicago, surrounded by rows of identical gray houses and streets where winter wind feels stronger than people, lived a girl named Emilia. Her family was one of those no one talks about out loud. Poor, exhausted, and broken from the inside. Her father worked whenever he could, construction, warehouses, anything that brought in some money. But nothing was stable. Her mother cleaned other people's homes, coming back every evening with hands that hurt so badly she could barely hold a cup of coffee. There was never enough money in the house, but even more painfully, there was never enough peace. Emilia was the middle child. Not the oldest, not the youngest, just the one who was easiest to overlook. In her family, that became her role. Her older brother was the hope of the family, but that hope collapsed quickly. He dropped out of school, got involved with the wrong crowd, and started bringing only problems home. Her younger sister was the favorite, the one everyone tried to protect from reality. And Emilia, she was the one everyone blamed. You don't understand anything. You only make things harder. You should just stay quiet. Those words became the background noise of her childhood. But at night, when everyone was asleep, Emilia would sit by the window and stare at the distant city lights. She imagined another life, not a perfect one, not even a rich one, just a life where she wasn't made to feel like she didn't belong. At school, she was quiet, almost invisible. But she had one trait. She remembered everything. Teachers often thought she was average, but when exams came, she always scored far higher than anyone expected. One day, her English teacher, Mr. Harper, asked her to stay after class. "You realize you're one of the strongest students in this class?" he said. Emilia just shrugged. "No one at home thinks so." That sentence lingered in the room longer than it should have. Mr. Harper was the one who helped her apply for a scholarship to a university in New York. And when the acceptance letter arrived, her life split into before and after. But at home, it was not celebrated. "You're leaving us?" her father asked coldly. "Who will help us now?" her mother added. Her brother laughed. "She'll be back in a month." But Emilia didn't come back. New life. The university in New York felt like another planet. Tall buildings, people always rushing somewhere. Cafes where a single coffee cost more than her childhood meals. At first, she felt like a mistake in the system, like she had accidentally been dropped into a life that wasn't meant for her. Money was always missing. She lived in a small dorm room with other students, sometimes skipped meals to afford textbooks, and worked at a cafe where her hands shook after shifts from exhaustion. But she didn't stop. She studied at night while others slept. Read books no one forced her to read. Took notes until dawn. And with every month, she became stronger, not outside, but inside. One day, she got an opportunity to intern at a small tech company. It wasn't anything huge, but for her, it felt like a door finally cracking open. And she walked through it. Turning point. At work, Emilia wasn't just hardworking. She was precise in a way others weren't. She noticed things people missed. Suggested ideas that were ignored at first, then later implemented. People began to notice her. First her manager, then investors, then people who normally never noticed, just interns. She grew. After a few years, she was working on her own projects. One of them unexpectedly took off, and the company she co-founded started making millions. But money didn't arrive like a fairy tale. It came with pressure, responsibility, and a loneliness she never learned how to fill. Return of the past. One day, her brother texted her, then her mother, then her father, for the first time in years. The same people who once told her she would never become anything were now saying, "We always believed in you. You're our pride. Can you help us?" Emilia stared at the messages for a long time. She didn't reply immediately, because memory doesn't disappear as quickly as money changes people. She remembered the hungry nights. She remembered the words that broke her. She remembered being unprotected in her own home. And most of all, she remembered what it felt like to be unwanted. A different Emilia. When she finally returned to her hometown, she was not the same girl who had left. She arrived not as someone asking for acceptance, but as a woman who had built herself from nothing. Her father looked at her for a long time, unable to believe it. Her mother cried. Her brother stayed silent. "You've changed," her father said. "No," Emilia replied calmly. "I just stopped being someone you could break." She didn't scream. She didn't seek revenge. She didn't humiliate anyone. She simply set boundaries. She helped her family, but not in